everybody, and welcome to another story time today. I hope you enjoyed the spooky story time from last Friday. Today's just going to be a regular one with some normal rhymes and stories, so nothing scary today. If you didn't get a chance to pick up a windmill art club kit for your kids last week, then there's still a few available, and this Thursday there's going to be plant-a-seed kits. So you can bring home your own kit, seeds and clay pots, and plant a seed at home. So our first rhyme for the day is up, down, turn around, just to get things going. So up, down, turn around, touch the skies and touch the ground, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, wiggle shoulders, say hello. Okay, good job everybody. So our first story of the day is called Why the Water in Rivers is Never Still, and it's by Florence Holbrook. So all kinds of strange things came to pass in the days of long ago, but perhaps the strangest of all was that the nurses who cared for little children were not people, but brooks and rivers. The children and the brooks ran about together, and the brooks and rivers never said, "It is time to go to bed," for they liked to play as well as the children, and perhaps a little better. Sometimes the brooks ran first and the children followed. Sometimes the children ran first and the brooks followed. Of course, if any animal came near that would hurt the children, the brook or river in whose care they were left flowed quickly around them, so that they stood on an island and were safe from all harm. Two little boys lived in those days who were sons of the king. When the children were old enough to run about, the king called the rivers and brooks to come before him. They came gladly, for they felt sure that something pleasant would happen, and they waited so quietly that no one would have thought they were so full of frolic. "I have called you," said the king, "to give you the care of my two little sons. They like so well to run about that one nurse will not be enough to care for them, and of course it will be pleasanter for them to have many playmates. So I felt that it would be better to ask every river and every brook to see that they are not hurt or lost." "We shall have us the king's sons for our playmates," whispered the rivers. "Nothing so pleasant ever happened to us before." But the king went on, "If you keep my boys safely and well, and follow them so closely that they are not lost, then I will give you whatever gift you wish. But if I find out that you have forgotten them one moment, and they are lost or hurt, then you will be punished as no river was ever punished before." The rivers and even the most frolicsome little brooks were again quiet for a moment. Then they all cried together, "O king, we will be good. There were never better nurses than we will be to your sons." At first all went well, and the playmates had the merriest times that could be thought of. Then came a day when the sunshine was very warm, but the boys ran faster and farther than boys had ever run in the world before, and even the brooks could not keep up with them. The rivers had never been weary before, but when this warm day came, one river after another had some reason for being quiet. One complained, "I have followed the boys farther than any other river." "Perhaps you have," said another, "but I have been up and down and around till I have forgotten how it seems to be quiet." Another declared, "I have run about long enough, and I shall run no more." A little brook said, "If I were a great river, perhaps I could run farther." And a great river replied, "If I were a little brook, of course I could run farther." So they talked and the day passed. Night came before they knew it, and they could not find the boys. "Where are my sons?" cried the king. "Indeed, we do not know," answered the brooks and rivers in great fear, and each one looked at the others. "You have lost my children," said the king, "and if you do not find them, you shall be punished. Go and search for them." "Please help us," the rivers begged of the trees and plants, and everything that had life began to search for the lost boys. "Perhaps they are underground," thought the trees, and they sent their roots down into the earth. "Perhaps they are in the east," cried one animal, and he went to the east. "They may be on the mountain," said one plant, so it climbed to the very top of the mountain. "They may be in the village," said another, and so that one crept up close to the homes of men. Many years passed. The king was almost broken-hearted, but he knew it was of no use to search longer, so he called very sadly, "Search no longer. Let each plant and animal make its home where it is. The little plant that has crept up the mountain shall live on the mountain top, and the roots of the trees shall stay underground. The rivers—" The king stopped, and the rivers trembled. They knew that they would be punished, but what would the punishment be? The king looked at them. As for you, rivers and brooks, he declared, it was your work to watch my boys. The plants and trees shall find rest and live happily in their homes, but you shall ever search for my lost boys, and you shall never have a home. So from that day to this, the rivers have gone on looking for the lost children. They never stop, and some of them are so troubled that they flow first one way and then the other. So that's the story of why the water always flows in rivers. So our next rhyme is called Seasons, and it goes like this. So seasons turn like a big round ball, winter and spring, summer, fall. Seasons turn like a big round ring, summer and fall, winter, spring. First come green buds, then comes grass. Green leaves turn brown, fall comes fast. Winter snows soon turn to rain, green buds spring out once again. Seasons come and seasons go, watch the grass and flowers grow. Winter, spring, summer, fall, and everything's growing throughout it all. Good job, everybody. Our next poem is the number poem, and it's a good way to learn how to actually draw out the numbers. So it goes like this. Number 1 is like a stick, a straight line down, that's very quick. For number 2, go right around, then make a line across the ground. Go right around, what will it be? Go round again to make a 3. Down and over and down some more, that's the way to make a 4. Go down and around and then you stop. Finish the 5 with a line on top. Make a curve, then a loop. There are no tricks to making a 6. Across the sky and down from heaven, that's the way to make a 7. Good job. We're going to do that one more time. So number 1 is like a stick. Straight line down, that's very quick. For number 2, go right around, then make a line across the ground. Go right around, then what will it be? Go round again to make a 3. Down and over and down some more, that's the way to make a 4. Go down and around, then you stop. Finish the 5 with a line on top. Make a curve and then a loop. There are no tricks to making a 6. Across the sky and down from heaven, that's the way to make a 7. Good job, everybody. So our next poem is called The Caterpillar by Robert Graves. So under this loop of honeysuckle, a creeping colored caterpillar, I gnaw the fresh green hawthorn spray, I nibble it leaf by leaf away. Down beneath grow dandelions, daisies, old man's looking glasses. Rooks flap croaking across the lane, I eat and swallow and eat again. Here come raindrops helter-skelter, I munch and nibble unregarding. Hawthorn leaves are juicy and firm, I'll mind my business, I'm a good worm. When I'm old, tired, and melancholy, I'll build a leaf-green mausoleum, close by here on this lovely spray, and die and dream the ages away. Some say worms win resurrection, with white wings beating flitter flutter, but wings or a sound sleep, why should I care? Either way, I'll miss my share. Under this loop of honeysuckle, a hungry, hairy caterpillar, I crawl on my high and swinging seat, and eat, as one ought to eat. That's the end of that poem. So for last week's story time, we drew a turkey because it was Thanksgiving. Now today we're going to draw a little goat. So I'll have the instructions up on the screen so you can follow along. So first of all, we're going to draw big oval. That's going to be the body of the goat. And then we're going to draw, I'm going to erase over here because we have to draw another oval for the head, just like that. Then we're going to add little ears, like that. Mine are kind of big ears. He's kind of sticking out. And then we're going to draw horns. Nice big long horns like that. And now we're also going to add some little feet. Like that. And we're going to have to add a little face for him. So we need 2 little eyes, we need a little nose and mouth, fill in his ears, and we're going to give him a little goat beard, just like that, and also going to give him some hooves. And we're going to color those in as well. And he also gets a little tail, just like that. So that's my little goat. Yours might look a little bit better, and that's okay. And if you're at home, you might be able to color it in as well, but that's how you draw a goat. So now it's time for our little closing song. So it's just like our opening song that we did, so you can follow along. Up, down, turn around, touch the skies and touch the ground, pat your belly, blink your eyes, blow a kiss and say goodbye. Thanks everyone for joining today's story time. We're going to have another spooky story time this Friday, so look out for that. Otherwise, we'll see you next Monday for another story time at 11 a.m. So we'll see you then. Bye now.